Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome. You can see that people have joined already. Hello. Okay, so before we start, let me go on Instagram here and make sure I let everyone know that I'm live. Just give me a few seconds here, guys. Okay, all right. Hey, Osang, what's up? Nilesh. Whoa, that's amazing. 2 million TCV this year for MasterCard, and then a 20 million to close. Wow. Congrats, man. That's amazing. Okay. So, let's go over the objectives of tonight's stream. Okay, so we're gonna go over the SPY callouts that I gave everyone in the Discord. Right, there's 2 callouts, right, and why I called them out. Okay, and the reason why I did, right, and what I saw, what my thought process was, what was my mentality, and etc. Okay, and then right after that, we're gonna go over the updated technical analysis for all the names that we're watching for this week. Okay, so you guys can be a little bit more updated on what I'm looking for and what I'm looking at for all the names for this week. All right, since most of you guys are the members of the CFO Swing and Watch, so I'm just gonna assume that you guys are. So we will go over those. Okay, so let's go over the SPY trades. Okay, so today was a very, as Do Nothing says here, lit day. Joel said today was lit, it very was. All right, so the first trade that I called out here for you all, and the reason why, okay, is well, it was in, let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Okay, it was right here. Okay, it was right here, right? And let me get my brush out. So right over here. Okay, so what was happening here is that where's my level? There it is. So we're seeing like really low volume. So first of all, the volume caught me off guard, right? Because well, it didn't really catch me off guard, but the volume was telling me that, sellers are not too present here, but we keep on going lower, right? So when we see lower volume, like, a sudden drop in volume compared to yesterday, right? And yesterday, I did tell everyone in the Discord that I'm going to expect lower volume today, right? I'm going to expect mostly, generally, throughout the entirety of this of today to have low volume, and that's what we got until the last few hours, a few minutes. That's normal, right? That's normal. But with the that low volume, right? We were holding this 373 support level, right? We kept on bouncing off of it multiple times and really just chopping it up here, right? Back and forth between 373 and roughly around 375. Okay, and right as we start to bounce again at 373 here, right? It looked like we're about to reject lower and break into new low of the days, right? Because we did on this candlestick here, right? We bounced at 373 again, right? So that got me thinking, we just made a new low of the day, but we came right back, right? On this candlestick above 373, and then we closed way above 373, right? And we closed a point higher on this candlestick, right? And you know, we've been having really, really low volume for the past few hours here after market open. So it got me thinking that, you know, there might be a possible reversal here, because if you take a look at this candlestick and then the next one that formed, right, we continued to break above, and we actually broke above the 15-minute 10 SMA, right? And if you take a look at the previous candlesticks, we couldn't even hold above the 10 SMA here, right? And this is my first signal and sign that the price is ready to reverse. And that's when I sent that message at 10:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys go to the CFO Pro Traders channel, right? I sent it right at the end, okay, of this candlestick, of this 15-minute candlestick, and then the next one formed, right? So it was a very, very quick message that I sent, all right? And right after that, we blasted through 2+ points, right? Or actually it was, 2+ points, and we took profits around 376. So the profit target was 376. Stop loss was around 0.50. You know, the entry would have been 375, right? But if you got below 375, congrats, which is me. But for 375, you know, entry and then a stop loss about 50 cents below the entry, and then a profit target around 376. Very good trade. Right, you know, it was a 0.50 risk to reward ratio. So very quick trade, very quick scalp. And you know, as we start to go up higher, right, we start to see an increase in volume as well. So if we just focus on these three green candlesticks, as we were reversing, the volume increased, right? So this got me thinking that you know, with the volume increasing as well, that could help with the reversal, right? So that was our first trade for SPY. And then the second one came in, okay, right before power hour, the last hour, okay, exactly at 11:59 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I sent a message, right, that I want to go into these two positions, these two strikes, right, and you could have chosen either strike, and I want to swing them. So little disclaimer, I am swinging one of the positions, okay, but with SPY here, right, the reason why I said that I want to see, okay, a bounce near power hour was that, well, take a look at the RSI, right? So this is what we call a bullish hidden divergence, right? So, or just a bullish divergence. I don't really know the specific terms because I don't tend to look at technical indicators. If you guys know me, I don't look at the RSI or MACD or stochastics too often. You might be wondering why. Well, because I already have my reliable indicators already, which are my simple moving averages, right? SMAs. So, and I tend to look at the RSI, which is kind of like the next in line, most important RSI, technical indicator. So as I was looking at the RSI, right, we're going down since yesterday, right? Since Monday, we've been going down and down and down. The price has been trending down, but look at what the RSI has been doing. We've been trending upward, right? We've been making new highs on this line, on this oscillating line here, and then new higher lows, right? We had a new higher low here and a new higher low right here. And so I was trying to see and bet on the fact that we can bounce off of this RSI around here, right? Off of this trend line, because this trend line is what I made, right? There's a general trend line that I made as the RSI oscillating line here was forming, right? So I was fortunate enough and lucky enough to see that the line actually bounced off of it, right? But obviously, the price is the one that has bounced off of a descending support trend line, because, you know, you can't determine a price movement by looking at a technical indicator, because generally technical indicators are lagging, right? But if we were to remove price, right, out of this chart here and just focus on the RSI, it would have seemed that the RSI oscillating line here bounced off of this trend line that I've made, right? So, you know, as the RSI started to bounce off of this trend line, okay, this falling wedge here, right, that I showed my CFA Swing Watch members in the CFA Discord, right, was the main thing that I was looking out for. And at the last few minutes of today, we decided to break out of it, and I took profits, half on this candlestick right here, and then I left the other half to swing, right, on this candlestick. You know, I was debating that I should get out on this one as well, on this last candlestick, last 15-minute candlestick, but I decided to hold because why not, right? I already took half off. I've de-risked half of what I was initially risking. So, you know, I mean, it's worthy, right? It's worth holding that half of the position that I have left, right? And I already took in profit, so why not? So with that overnight swing, hopefully something becomes of it, okay? And with the, I would say with the overnight swing, you know, I would want to see at least an opening around 375. That's kind of what I'm, kind of the general ballpark of what I'm looking at for an open tomorrow. But you know, if that doesn't happen, I would say trying to get it out at least at break even for those for that position with half of my position left in that specific trade. I would try to get in and get out around at least break even or at a stop loss, right? So, you know, for this one, I think this swing, hopefully tomorrow we can see a nice increase back towards that 376, right? Because we've been rejecting off of 376 a lot today. We rejected off here, here, and here, right? So that's 3 times. So if let me actually just make a level here for you all to make it look a lot more poignant here. There we go, right? So this bullish divergence here, right? If you guys know what it is, well, the price is downtrending, right? The price trend is downtrending, and then the technical indicator is uptrending, right? So it's just the complete opposite. That's basically what it is, right? There's not much to it, right? So that's what I was looking at, and that's what we saw happening to the price, right? So I think my entry was a little bit early here for this last one. Yeah, so my entry was on this candlestick, right? I think it was around it was around, I think, let's see. Yeah, it was around 371.50-ish, if I'm not mistaken. No. It was around 372. Yeah. It was around 372, and I almost went out. But I decided to have conviction, right? That I was trusting my analysis of this falling wedge, right? And I was trying to give, and in my head, I was thinking that I'm going to give more room, right? And I was also trusting this bullish divergence. So we had an overlay of both a falling wedge, which is bullish, and then a hidden divergence, which was a bullish hidden divergence as well, right? So, you know, I could have gotten out, right? But I didn't. But I also could have added, but I also didn't do that as well. Because remember, if I'm going to risk, you know, letting the stock move and have more room to move, right? I'm already inherently, right, risking more, even if I haven't touched the position, right? Because I'm trying to let the stock have more room to move. And I was just trusting my analysis already, right, initially. So conviction comes with risk, right? Is essentially what I'm trying to say here, right? So, you know, these are the 2 official trades that were taken today. And it comes after, you know, a couple trading days where it was just a complete mess in the markets, right? I mean, we're down huge, right? From the past, I would say 4 trading days, right? I'm not going to include this one right here, but 4 trading days, right? It's a complete downturn. So, you know, at this point, I'm going to expect a nice big run up. Right, it's gonna be weak, and why do I say weak? Well, because the volume's gonna be low, so we have a weak bounce into FOMC, right, which is tomorrow, and you know, I'm gonna be expecting them to announce. I've been seeing this all last week, right? after CPI data came out that they're most likely going to have 75 basis points on the table. If you guys don't know, the federal funds rate, right, has been pricing in a range of 75 to 1, right, for the basis points there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they say, that they're looking to raise interest rates by 75 basis points. But for sure, right, tomorrow, they're going to announce 50 BP, right? They're going to increase it by 50 BP, right? We've already had an increase of a fourth of a percentage point, right? 0.25 or 25 basis points, okay? So definitely tomorrow, 100%, they're going to increase it to 50, right? And 75 will be on the table, right? I am confident that they will start talking about that, right? And I think the market reaction, right, has been pricing in that potential 75 BP, which is why I'm saying that there could be a possibility that we see a weak bounce into FOMC, right? But if I remove the FOMC, the federal rate hike and CPI data, all those catalysts out of the way, and just look at the technicals, okay, we are overdue for a bounce, right? Not just because we're oversold on the RSI, but because we have two gaps that we need to fill. And on Sunday, I told you guys that if we were most likely going to open up with the gap down, obviously, right? But if we do not fill in the gap on Monday, right, yesterday, if we do not fill it, it's going to give a higher probability for us to bounce in the middle of this week, or most likely after or before FOMC, right? And this is what I said on Sunday in the CFO Swing Watch video. And if we don't decide to fill in the gap, and also if we decide to close bearish, there's a higher chance and higher probability that we start filling in the gap, or at the very least bouncing in the middle of the week, right, before or after FOMC meetings, right? So I expect tomorrow to be green. Okay, I don't care if it's going to be whether or not I want to see a gap or not. I just want to see a green day, right? And we're long overdue for that, because first of all, we have 4 back-to-back really bearish candlesticks, and if you guys know the pattern that I like to use, right? If you have 3 or more same colored candlesticks back-to-back, right? We need the 4th one to be at least the opposite color. And if not, then that's a very unhealthy trend. And right now we have an unhealthy downward trend, right? So, now if we kind of amalgamate all the information that we have together, right? We have an unhealthy downtrend, okay? We have 2 gap downs that need to be filled. And remember, SPY loves to fill in gaps. And if you're going to fill in gaps, what does the price need to do? Move up. Right, it needs to move up to fill in these gaps, these big, large gaps. And then number 3, we are oversold on all the hourly time frames, even on the daily time frame. Right, we're at 31.97. Right, that's borderline oversold. Right, because RSI, the RSI value has to be 30 and below to be oversold. But 31.97, that's for me. Okay, for me, that's already considered borderline oversold. But if you take a look at all the hourly time frames, right, 4 hour, right, it's at 24. 3 hour, right, we're at 21.95. 2 hour, right, the number gets lower and lower and lower, 21.41. And then 1 hour, right, now it gets 24.09. Okay, so with sort of a bullish close like this, right, and the fact that when we bounce today at the end of the day, okay, we saw a lot more volume coming in at a bounce, right? So tomorrow I want to see seller exhaustion, right? And I think that's what we got today, where people, especially shorters, were starting to close the positions throughout this entirety of today, which is why we got a lot of chop. Right, and there's a lot of FOMO shorters who are attempting to sell short today, right? So either they went out with small profits or they got caught in a chop, right? And they had to close the positions with a loss, which is why we saw a lot of bounces and a lot of pushes lower, right? So, for SPY here, tomorrow I want to see a close above 376. Okay, that's my minimum expectation for tomorrow. Okay, minimum. Right, I want to see a close above 376. So a nice solid green day, but with low volume. Why? Well, because the market will be anticipating what the Federal Reserve has to say with their FOMC meeting. Okay, so that is it for my SPY review. If you guys have any questions, please ask me. If you guys have any questions on the specific trades that we did today, the 2 out of 2 green trades that we had, please ask me. If you guys are wondering what I expect the RSI to be at tomorrow, well, I'll answer that for you guys right now. So what I want to see on all the hourly time frames, so 4 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 1 hour, whatever it may be, whatever hourly time frame that you guys like looking at, I personally like to look at the 2 hour. Okay, and sometimes I switch back to the 1 hour to get more data, but 2 hour is my kind of a good balanced time frame, right? What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, so this 2 hour time frame, I want the RSI to at least be recalibrated, right? Quote unquote recalibrated back above 30. So I don't want the hourly time frames to be oversold anymore. Does that make sense? And how will the RSI not be oversold? It should be pretty logical, right? The price just moves up, right? The price will move up. And if the price moves up, that means the RSI is also going to follow that and go back to being, not oversold. Very simple logic to follow, right? Joel, do you say do not use extended hours? What is better, with or without it? Good question. So I personally do not use extended hours. It's not important to me because I'm not a day trader. But it's a huge help, especially if you're a DT, right? A day trader. Right? I'm an ST, a swing trader, right? So pre-market data, after-hour market data is not important to me, right? I think if you really want to use it, it can be very useful. So for example, Joel, if you see pre-market low or pre-market high, right? And let's say you run a long SPY, right? An easy strategy for you to have will be to get long at the break of the pre-market high. Like it's that easy, right? So it's one of those simple strategies that can work, especially if you know what you're doing, obviously, right? So it depends on what type of trader you are, right? For me, it's not important. It's not better for me to have pre-market data or after-hour market data, because I'm an ST, right, swing trader. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Steven Lopez, what's up? Did you chart SPY for tomorrow? No, but I kind of did indirectly. But let me go over it again since everyone's joining right now. Welcome guys, welcome. Seems like everyone is kind of free now. So welcome. Hello. Seems like my woman is here too as well. So with SPY here, okay, so what I'm expecting, okay, so let's have a little tiny overall summary. What I'm expecting for SPY, I want all the hourly time frames, right? 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour to be not oversold. So I want it to be above 30, right? Above the value of 30. And how do we get that? The price has to move up, right? So what is my bias then? A bullish bias, right? And why do I have a bullish bias? Well, take a look at this hourly time frame, 1 hour time frame, right? Hourly time frame. We're looking at a nice falling wedge. And Steven, you missed it, but make sure you go back to the recording because I kind of go over my 2 trades that I gave out to my CFO Swing Watch members in the Discord, right? And the reason why I gave it out. The last trade of today that we did was based off this falling wedge chart pattern, right? So I expect us to break above, at the very least, stay above 374, and then stay above 375, okay? And then minimum okay, minimum, I expect us to close tomorrow at 376. Now, that's my ideal situation for SPY, right? And keyword ideal, right? I'm not predicting that's going to be exactly that because no one can do that, obviously. But that'll be my ideal situation, right? Minimum, a close above 376. So I am expecting a bounce, a very, very weak bounce into FOMC. All right. And Steven, don't forget on the daily time frame, we have huge gaps to fill. And how are we going to fill that? Well, by moving upwards. Okay. And if you guys are wondering, kind of the probabilities of us filling either gap, okay, let me give you guys that. So I'm not going to expect this first gap that we had last week to be filled anytime soon, but I am going to expect this gap that we made on Monday, yesterday, okay, to be slowly filled over time, okay, in the next few trading weeks. Does that make sense, right? So depending on how the FOMC meetings go tomorrow, right, and what they tell us for the rest of the week, right, that's where we will get the trend for the entirety of this week, right, the latter half of the week, okay? And like I said, FOMC, 100% they're going to raise the Fed funds rate to 50 BP, and they're going to have 75 BP on the table, and they're going to discuss it, okay? That's for sure to me tomorrow, okay? That's what I'm expecting tomorrow, right? That's exactly my prediction. So 75 basis points will be on the table, and like I've been saying since a few weeks ago, the federal futures funds rate market, okay, that's a mouthful, has been showing and pricing in a potential price range of 75 to 1 BP. All right, that's a large increase, right, from the 25 BP that we are currently in, right? So, I would say watch out for that. And I think SPY has been pricing in the potential 75 BP that they have on the table, right? So if they talk about it, I would expect the market to bounce, right? Because I think they've been pricing in that already. Does that make sense? Steven Lopez, will do. Sorry I missed it. Thanks for the breakdown. Huge rally. Yes. Thank you. And you're welcome. Yeah, so make sure you watch the recording. It will automatically post on the channel here right after I finish. So make sure you watch it, Steven, okay? Does anyone else have any questions for me on SPY? Because if not, we'll go into the technical analysis. Now, I'm going to fly over the TA on all the names that we're watching for this week. Going once. Going twice. Going thrice. No? Okay. Well, that's kind of it for SPY. All right, I'm gonna expect green tomorrow, but you know what? Let me actually before I move on. Oh yeah, Hassan, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think 50 BP will help with the bounce. I think even 75 BP is gonna be helpful with the bounce, to be honest. Yeah. So Hassan, what you're saying? So would it be taken as a Fed not taking it seriously? So I think with the CPI data that came out last week, that's really pushed the Federal Reserve into a corner, right? Which is why I 100% believe that they will talk about that 75 BP this week, okay, tomorrow. And they will have that on the table, which is why I think the markets have been crashing so hard, right? Because they're going to expect, after the CPI data came out, that the Federal Reserve starts taking more, all this that's happening with the economy and inflation a lot more seriously, right? So if they talk about the 75 BP, I think that's going to be a positive note to the market, right? And like I said before, right, if you take off all the CPI data, if you take out, the Federal Reserve and the FOMC meeting catalysts, right, just technically, we're due for a bounce. Okay, and for the people who are just joining, if you guys are wondering why I say that, take a look at the very first of this recording, right, when I end the live stream, it's going to automatically upload to the YouTube channel. And if you guys are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe, right? Or else you will not see the video pop up on your YouTube front page, okay? And also, if you guys are enjoying all this information, please like and share and comment. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. It tells the algorithm that I am live, and it pushes it out to the public and to all the strangers out there. Okay, so thank you guys very much in advance for liking the video. I see that you guys already 4 likes, so thank you very much. But yeah, Hassan, the 50 BP will definitely help with the bounce. I mean, 100% they're going to increase. 100%, 1,000%, and I am 100% sure that they will start, at least hinting towards that 75 BP, right? If they have a rhetoric tomorrow that hints at that 75 BP increase, okay, I think initially the market will be like, oh my god, right? They'll be like, whoa, that's really aggressive, and then they'll realize that that's a positive thing to do for the long term. Does that make sense, Hassan? Right? Which is why whenever we have FOMC meetings, right, or whenever Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell, right, Jerome Powell speaks, we look for the secondary reaction, right? We look for the secondary reaction, right? And that's kind of the true reaction, which is why I'm saying most likely we'll get a better trend starting on Thursday and Friday, right? Either Thursday or on Friday, right? Or Thursday through Friday, okay? So does that conclude SPY for now? Give me a thumbs up, guys, if that makes sense. By the way, can everyone hear me? The volume should be low for the music. And my mic is, I make sure my mic, my audio capture is very, very sensitive to my voice. So you guys should be able to hear me with a booming voice. Okay, I think that confirms it. Yeah, Hassan, yes sir. Okay, perfect. So, of course, you're welcome. So for futures here, we gapped up with the open, low tiny gap up. We're at 3753. If you take a look at SPX, we'll most likely, if conditions stay the same, and the price stays the same, we might be opening around on ES, maybe around 3,765, maybe. Okay, that's just a wild guess there, to be honest. So yeah, that's kind of it for SPY. Just watch out for the RSI, right? I want all the hourly time frames to go from oversold to not being oversold. Okay, so let's go over the names from the CFO Swing Watch. So NOC, right? So NOC has been showing extreme strength, right? And when we see extreme strength, whenever the market is going down, they're used as hedges, okay? But then on the opposite side, on the opposite perspective, okay, so you guys write this down, right? Whenever I'm looking at strong names, right, and they start reverting, right? So they start going down now, right, compared to the market, right? So today, right, the last 2 trading days on Friday and Monday, it's been very strong, right? We bounced at daily 50 SMA, and we closed above the daily 50 SMA as well, right? So it's showing really good strength compared to the markets on Friday and Monday. But today, as a relative strength name, we started going down, and we actually closed slightly below this ascending support trend line. And we had a very, very bearish day. And usually what that tells me is that the overall market is looking to bounce. When the relative strength names that have been strong when the market has been going down are starting to lose their strength. Okay? So NOC, it looks like it can be a very, very good short tomorrow. Why? Well, because we already had that initial nice big move to the downside. But if we do bounce again tomorrow, right, on this ascending support trend line. I wouldn't be surprised as well. Why? Well, look at how many times we bounce, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So if you bounce again, that's going to be a 6th time, right? So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised, but this might be a very, very good short upcoming here. And it says short under 450, right? So it might be a very, very good short to the downside. So make sure you guys are watching this one, okay? So that's my updated TA for this name. The next one is LMT. So same thesis for NOC, just like an NOC, right? This was having really good relative strength, right? We ended up with a doji on Friday and then another doji yesterday, but we broke this critical level of support, 417, and we actually ended below it, right? But since we are so close to this 417 level, and for the fact that we've been going down for 5 consecutive trading days here, which is very unhealthy for a downtrend, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with a nice green day tomorrow and bouncing above this 417 support level. Right, so same thesis as NOC, right? So NOC, LMT, they're both relative strength names, and if they bounce tomorrow, then they bounce, right? Since they're very, very close to their respective support levels. Are you guys with me so far? I do tend to speak fast, so hopefully everyone is caught up here. Okay, so the third name, Accelerate Energy, EE. This is a LNG name, okay? Liquefied natural gas. Hassan, you said LNT also looks like a Head and Shoulders. Actually, let's go back, and yes, it's kind of screwed up, because I mean I see that left shoulder here, the head right here, and then the right shoulder, right? But yeah, I mean, you know, the chart pattern is here. Right, so obviously it was kind of negated, but you know, if we decide to break down tomorrow below 417, I mean, not much support left until we hit like what, like 392, 395. Hey Dion, what's up? Oh wow, we have a lot of people in here tonight. Welcome, welcome. Thank you all for the likes. So people who are just joining, I went over SPY already, SPY. So make sure you guys look at the recording after the live stream is done. Make sure you guys watch it. Okay, I have some very important things that I talk about. Okay, and then so let's go back on track here. So EE, right? And people who are just joining, if you guys don't know what we're doing, I'm going over all the 10 names that we're looking at, and all these 10 names were or are in this week's CFO Streamer Watch newsletter. So you guys are getting a little bit of a freebie here, okay? And if you guys want to join tonight, okay? So with EE here, we have a nice falling wedge, right? And yesterday we decided to have a little tiny peekaboo below the 25.50-ish breakout level that we broke out of previously, right? And then today we had an amazing comeback. Right, we broke above the 25.50 level again, and then we even closed above the 21 SMA. And if you take a look at the intraday hourly time frames, right, this falling wedge, we have completely broken out of it. Right, we even made a small micro bull flag, right, today, and then we broke out of it again. So I expect this name to continue to the upside. I mean, kind of the telling indicator that we're going to see new all-time highs again is if we close above the 10 SMA in the next few trading days. But today's close above the 21 SMA is already bullish for me, right? It's set a bullish tone for the next few trading days. Okay, so EE, I expect more above 27.50, and hopefully we can make new all-time highs again. So I kind of expect this, right? Your typical uptrend chart, right? So we know this may be a higher low, right? So we made a higher low here, higher high, and then higher low here, and maybe possibly another higher high. Simple. Next one, we have you, right? So Joel, if you're still in here, I know you got a killer trade here, thanks to the analysis here on the newsletter, right? We got a nice rejection, right? I believe at like 35 on yesterday, and then you waited for confirmation as it broke below the low today, which is very, very good. You're getting very good at that. You follow exactly what I told you to do in our sessions, okay? So congrats to you. That was very, very good. And you profited, and I even told you to get out. And right after you got out, right, I think it was around like 30, exactly at $33.30 is when I told you to get out, and we bounced right after that, right? So I'm glad that you got out when I told you to get out. I was pretty on point there. But for you, I expect you to start filling the gap here that we made from Friday and between Friday's candlestick and Monday's candlestick. Okay, so I expect you to fill in the gap here before we start heading lower. Okay, long-term target for you, I want to see 29 again, a revisit of 29. Okay, I'm gonna start flying by these now. Okay, so and then DKNG. Okay, you know I hate this name already. I hate this company. Monday, it was a great short. If any of you guys took it, right? We rejected below. Okay, we rejected this support level, right, that I was talking about on Sunday in that private video, right? We rejected right at that support, and then we came smashing down. And I expect DKNG to reject off of maybe around $12 again this week for a potential short again. Okay. And then LLY, right, biotech name. We're starting a new downtrend. Okay, but I expect us to come back above the ascending support trend line anytime this week. Okay, and potentially hitting 296 again, which is a level of resistance, previous resistance back in between May. Okay, or well, mid-May. Yeah, mid-May here. Okay, so I expect that. Okay. And if we come back to 396 to around 396.50, we will retest the 50 SMA as well as the 50 SMA curls downward, right? We have the 10 curling downward and obviously cross below the 21. And remember guys, when the smaller SMA crosses below a bigger SMA, that's a bearish signal, right? And the opposite is true as well. When a smaller SMA crosses above a bigger SMA, that's a bullish signal. Very simple lesson there. Right, SUNW, Sunworks, right, solo name. So this one provided some good shorts. Okay, if you guys took them, below $2. I expect a nice long bounce around 1.70 anytime this week, and I'm gonna watch out for this name because first of all, it's a penny stock. Okay, and then second of all, solar energy has its time coming where I'm going to expect another big run in the solar sector. Okay, I don't know when. I'll tell you guys that maybe in a couple of weeks. Okay, I just need more data. I need more information, and I need to analyze that information before I give you guys a conclusive statement. But for SunW here, I'm just gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I want to see a nice bounce at 1.70. So. If we do bounce at 1.70, then we can long it and take profits at $2. And then BPTH, another penny stock, and it's actually been very, very strong. We're staying above the 21 SMA here, which is good. We actually came back down and retested the 21 SMA, and we held above it 2 trading days, including today. Right, so I'm going to wait until we retest the 3.70-ish resistance, and if we decide to break above it, we can go long and take profits around $4. And then the second to last name, VERU. I almost said W again, Jesus. So Veru, right? VERU. This one is, I'm not gonna watch too much. I'm just gonna have an alert set up here at 11.50, which I didn't for some reason. There we go. Okay, so at 11.50, I want to get long here. Why? Well, because if you come back down tomorrow, let's say we continue to go down tomorrow, we're going to retest the 50 SMA, and it's going to coincide with this 11.50 support level, right? And if we do that, you know, there's a possibility that we can make another higher low and maybe retest 16.50, which is our ultimate breakout level, right? And so far, if you go on the weekly time frame, we've been making a huge bullish weekly flag, right? This is a really, really big bull flag, right? And quite nice one at that as well. It has a lot of relative strength. It's a biotech name. It has relative strength during times of volatility. And if you guys didn't know that, well, now you know. So that's it for VERU. And the last one is XBI. So this is the general Spider S&P Biotech ETF index fund here for biotechs. And it seems like we have another opportunity for a double bottom. Let's actually bring this trend line down here. So if the overall markets bounce tomorrow, I would expect XBI to start raging above 64, right? And maybe start filling in the gap that was made between Friday's and Monday's candlesticks. Okay, so I would expect you to take profits around 66. Okay, so maybe like a nice 0.50 to $2 risk to reward ratio, or even $1 to $2 reward risk to reward ratio. Okay, so entry will be above 64, and then price target will be 66. Simple. Okay, so that concludes all the names here. I went lightning speed, guys. So if you guys want to go over any of the names that I've gone over so far, make sure you take a look at the recording. Okay. Now, I'm gonna be leaving this session soon, around in about 10 more minutes here. Okay, in about 10 more minutes, that'll be the 1 hour mark. Okay. Before I go on, does anyone have any questions on any of these names? NOC, LMT, EE, U, DKNG, LOY, SUNW, BPTH, VERU, and XBI. And they're very, very simple TA here. So, but if you guys have any questions on any of them, please let me know. Okay, so I guess that's it. So before I leave you guys, I want you guys to listen closely to this. Okay, so for SPY, all right now, okay, we have a lot of rampant fear. Looks like we have a question here. Joel, you said for you, what would be a good breakout for the upside? Okay, so we'll just go over that one and now go back to what I was saying before. So, good question there. So U is still in a very hardcore downtrend. I didn't even participate at the end of the day rally. Okay, I mean, this is good intraday consolidation, right? Right, I would say around 33.50, kind of a general area, and then 35. Okay, or maybe even, yeah, no, just 35. I'll leave it at that, 35. Right, so nice range that's forming. So if I want to see a clear reversal to the upside, I want to see a break above 35 and a hold above 35. But the clear indication will be a pop into this tiny gap that we have here. Okay, so what is the specific number? Well, if we decide to break above this candlestick's high, so if we have a nice pop above 35.65 and we start heading up higher after we pop above 35.65, we're gonna start filling in the gap here, right? So that will give me the complete confirmation, 100% confirmation that we're gonna start reversing here. Okay, but if you want to get in an earlier trade, okay, we go deeper into the smaller time frames. We want to get more data, right? We have a trend line here. Okay, so if we decide to break above this descending resistance trend line, Joel, okay, hopefully you're catching up. I know you're catching up quicker than usual now, since the sessions definitely have been helping. I know that for sure. it's reflecting off of your trades, so congratulations on that. But for this resistance level here, okay, I would want to see a nice break above this resistance level, which should be around $34. It should be around 34.20-ish. Okay, so 34.20 will be a nice level, okay, to break. All right, so if you want to get in a riskier area, I would say 34.20 will be nice, and you start taking profits around 34.50 and then 35 in succession, right? So take off half at 34.50 and take the rest off at 35, right? Because you're gonna see a lot of resistance around 35.20. Does that make sense? But like I said, if you want that 1000% confirmation, wait until we start seeing that little pop into the gap that we made here. Okay? Is that 2 big thumbs up for you? Yes? All right. Perfect. Okay, so we have about 6 minutes left here. Let me go back to SPY. So we have rampant fear, right? And usually during these times, right, what's best for you as any type of trader, right? It's best that you guys stay calm. And here's why, right? Which is why I've been trying so hard for all of you CFO Swing Watch members, right, to not be feeling FOMO from this downward movement, right? Because why feel FOMO, right? Because, I mean, you probably would have still felt FOMO if you try to get in here, right? Because you're like, oh, I missed all the gains here at the break here. If you try to get in here, you'll be getting FOMO still by saying, oh my God, I missed all the gains here and here, right? There's literally no, there's no like rewarding feeling, right? And if you thought that, oh, I should have gone short here today, you would have felt FOMO for missing out on all the past 3 days, right? And whenever the market starts to move down rapidly, right, most people are taken aback and they can't have that quick decision-making skill, right, to get in. But here's the thing, you don't need that quick decision-making skill when the market is going down so quickly. And instead of trying to develop a skill like that, just sit back, relax, stay with cash, and just watch. Because when you calmly observe and watch, the opportunities come to you. And when the opportunities come to you, you start to realize the optimal situations that you need in order to execute on those specific opportunities. Does that make sense? And a great example was today, right? On the 2 trades that we had on SPY that are both green. Well, hopefully they're both green, right? So we had a trade here, okay? First one was around here. And the second one was around here, right? Involved these candlesticks and involved these 4 candlesticks. So, it's one of those things that you feel like you should be doing, right? Where you're, rapidly trading when the market's moving huge on either to the upside or to the downside. But the number one thing that I'm confident in saying that you would definitely feel will be FOMO. No matter where, okay, no matter where you enter, no matter where you take profits, you will feel FOMO because the market is moving so fast. So instead of getting so mixed up on those emotions, focus on observing the markets. Lay back on your chair, watch the markets, watch the volume, right? Watch where we might get cellular exhaustion. Watch where we might see lower buying volume. Watch where we might start forming a chart pattern. And guess what we did, right? We did that today and yesterday, right? And today was where we saw the optimal, right, circumstances and optimal opportunities all aligning together for us to be able to take these 2 SPY trades. And that's what you get. You get optimal results, right? when you execute correctly off those optimal opportunities. Does that make sense? Okay, so from this point forward, guys, you don't need to be, trading crazily off of big moves like this. If you can't take big moves to the downside or big moves to the upside, right? Like for example, right here, right? Just don't trade it, right? Trade the optimal opportunities after these violent and volatile movements have passed. Does that make sense? Everyone give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay, I got one thumbs up. Okay, so with that, okay, that concludes today's live stream. We finished all the objectives for today. Okay, we went over SPY. All right, we went over the 2 trades that we did in the Discord, and we went over the names on the CFS Stream Watch newsletter. Okay, so before I leave, if you guys want to join, right? The discount code, right, 40MD is going to end this week. All right, so discount code to join. Yeah, let me actually write down here. Okay. If you guys want to use this, this will end by this week. Okay. And by this week, I mean Saturday, right? Since Sunday's gonna be a new week, right? So for all the people who are CFO affiliates as well, this is a great time to start reaching out to your friends, family, whatever, right? And have them use this first month discount code, right? 40% off, only on tiers 3 and 4. All right, so if you want to see updates, live updates tomorrow on the FOMC meetings and what I personally think about it, and and potential SPY trades tomorrow, join us tonight. All right. So like I said, CFO affiliates, if you guys are looking to find more affiliates, right? This is the time. This is the week. All right. Hustle. Since the discount code is going away on Saturday. All right, so if you guys want to use this discount code, use it on tiers 3 and 4. And if you guys are wondering what the difference between those 2 tiers are, tiers 3 has the monthly mentorship and tier 4 doesn't. Simple. So tier 3, monthly mentorships. Tier 4, none, right? No monthly mentorships. All right, if you guys are wondering how long the sessions are, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, Joel is one of my students here. He knows, okay, and he's been absolutely killing it. He's improved immensely over the last 2 months. Okay, I mean, he can say it himself. I mean, I'm just an observer, but his trading has already gone, really, really good. Just really good. So if you guys want to join with their mentorship sessions, and if you guys do join using that discount code 40MD, please let me know. We will set up a date for this month of June. All right. Okay, so that is it for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's live stream. Be at the same time, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right? Don't miss the live stream tomorrow. We will be talking about the FOMC meeting. Okay. I think Jerome Powell speaks on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I have to read it again, the meeting schedule, but I think it was Thursday or Friday. So we can hopefully get prepared for that tomorrow if it's on Thursday. But if it's on Friday, we'll hopefully get prepared on Thursday's live stream. All right. So like I said, guys, if you guys want to join us using that first month discount code 40MD on tiers 3 and tiers 4. it's only on those 2 tiers, right? Tiers 3 and tiers 4. It's only going to be applicable on those 2 tiers, right? Just that discount code 40MD, right? For 40% off for your first month. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you all for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. All right. And if you guys are just joining now, all right, I am ending this live stream. Make sure you guys take a look at the recording, right? Take a look at the very first few minutes and the very last few minutes, right? I talk about some very important things in the first and the last few minutes, right? And in the middle, I just go over the TA of all the names that I've gave to my CFO Swing Watch members, all right? So make sure you guys watch the recording. All right, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for your likes, and thank you all for subscribing to the Charts Focus 1 channel. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night.